Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Average Joe Dividends YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to show you the 5 picks that I chose at the back half of the week. And today is Friday. I hope everyone had a great 4th of July. And hopefully you have the day off. I don't, so I'm doing this video during my lunch break. So what we're looking at right now, this is my taxable M1 stock brokerage account, my Average Joe Dividends account. This is about 15% of my total net worth, really close to that $250,000 mark at 249,564. This is live, so these numbers will be changing slightly. We can see the money weighted return over 1 year, almost 16%. Look at the dividends earned within that time period of 1 year, almost $10,800, and this keeps going up. We'll look at the performance of the last month real quick here. Up about 1.5% last week. We'll take a look. Just up slightly at 0.18% today. I think we're down just a little bit, 0.17. So let's go ahead and jump into the activity log. And what I did was I deposited $100 and I picked 5 stocks to invest in. What we see here, there's 6 buys for 106.63, and the reason is we had HP pay a dividend just over the 3rd. It was, July 3rd. And so this went to my account. So I dripped this back into HP, and there's an extra cent in the account too. So that accounts for the 106.63. So we'll click here. We'll see what these 6 buys were. We're also going to see what this did to my dividend income, because of course this is going to increase it. And we'll also look at the portfolio historically, how it's performed, as well as the deposits I put into it and how that dividend income is just growing over time. It just keeps snowballing. But we'll take a look at the first pick was Lowe's at $20, then AbbVie another $20, and then Starbucks has been really low. It's been going down like crazy recently, just because they've just had less sales. People have less money in this recession. So I think right now, at least what I'm saying is not investment advice, but I think Starbucks could be a bargain right now. But who knows, it could keep going down as well. So that was a $20 pick plus that extra penny that I had. Procter & Gamble, $20, and then KKR was the last one for $20, and then HP, $6.62. So we're going to see what this effect had on my dividend portfolio income, as well as what the new dividends are going to be for these companies. So let's go over to, I want to go over to my Google Doc spreadsheet, and we're going to list out what these stocks are paying currently for their dividend for me, and we're going to see what the new one is as well, and as well as my total new income as well. So I'll leave a link below to this Google Doc spreadsheet. This shows all the positions in my portfolio. I have 53 right now in this dividend stock portfolio. You can see the company name, the ticker symbol, the share price, which is looked up with a simple Google Finance function. And we can see here's the average share price that I've paid for each of these positions. Most of them are in the green, a few are in the red. With General Mills, you can see what the current share price is and what I paid for it. Same with Starbucks too. A little bit upside down in those, but those are the only two really in the portfolio that I'm upside down in, I believe. Yeah, those are the only 2 in red. We can see the total number of shares. And then here's the market value if I were to sell these shares. Here's my cost basis for every single position I have right here. Here's my gain or loss. And here is the gain or loss expressed in a percentage. Anything over 10% will be in green. And then here's the current quarterly dividend per share. And I have to look that up manually. You can see the last one. For SCHD, it's variable, and that was its last dividend announcement. And then here is my monthly pairs are in blue with O and BST. We can see the current yield percentage, and here's the yield on my cost. Some of these are a little bit, some of them are pretty close to the same. We can see like an F&F, close to 4% yield right now. But here's the yield on my cost. But some of these positions, like take an Exxon, we can see the current yield, which is pretty respectable for Exxon, 3.36%. But look at my yield on cost, 8.32%, because I was buying most of my shares during when the pandemic was just taking hold in early 2020. And then we can see here is the pay date. This is how I arrange everything in here, is by the pay date from A to Z. And that's from the newest to oldest, actually oldest to newest actually. So, and we can see here we are in July, and we can see SCHD it was supposed to pay, well, it usually pays at the end of June, but they pay that one a few days later. So this one is spilling over into July, so it's going to make my July look artificially high. You can see the total number of dividends received so far just in the month, and we're only 5 days in. I've received almost $1,000, so we're up to $997.18, and that's mostly because of SCHD. We can see what the next SCHD dividend will be, but of course that is contingent on SCHD paying another 82-cent dividend. I don't think they are. I think it's going to be much lower in Q3, but I hope I'm wrong. But I think Q4 though could be even higher than this 82 cents. But of course, it's just me guessing that. So we can see the total dividends paid for each position as well. Take a look at SCHD, over $5,400 in dividends. Let's take a look at BST, over $7,300 in dividends I received. That's a big monthly payer. You can see what that pays to me each and every month. And what I do with these dividends is I drip them right back into the portfolio. And we can see with some of these, like SCHD as well, how the next dividend is going to be higher because I reinvested those dividends. And HP hasn't taken effect yet. I haven't updated the sheet, so we're still at 663. But what we want to do is put the dividends for Starbucks. Remember those 5 positions that I bought. I just want to show you how those are going to change here slightly. And then PG was another one, 9.45. And the change is not going to be very much at all. It's going to be a few cents for each, especially KKR, because look at that tiny dividend yield, 0.66%. We'll be lucky to probably add a penny with KKR, even with $20 going in. It's just, it is what it is. KKR is more of a growth play for me anyway. And then let's take a look at AbbVie, 39.57. And what are we missing? We have Lowe's, Procter & Gamble, KKR, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we're missing one here. We've got Starbucks. There it is. Lowe's, 6.96. Sorry about that. So we have those in place. I just want to show you how those are going to change. Because what we're going to do is we're going to grab some data over here at M1. We'll go off of this. Go to the Holdings tab. Okay, and here we are at the Holdings tab. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab everything from the name heading, and I'm going to scroll all the way down. And this is arranged from my largest position, SCHD, all the way to the smallest. And again, I'll leave a link below to my M1 Pi so you can see what I'm all invested in. And my Google Docs spreadsheet will also show that as well. So I'll copy that data. What I'm going to do is I'm going to paste this over on the M1 data tab, and what it's going to do is it's going to change the number of shares, my average share price, and my cost basis. So go to the M1 data tab here. I'm going to do a paste special. And what that's going to do is it's going to change the values for the shares and also the dividend income as well. So we'll go to Dividend tab here, Dividend Portfolio tab, and we can see here with Procter & Gamble, the new dividend is going to be $9.57 instead of the $9.45. And then with KKR, it's going to be $2.58 in August. Same with PG, or Procter & Gamble, it's going to pay August 16th approximately. And then the end of August, KKR will be $2.58 instead. So I'm adding whole 3 cents, but this does add up. And we can see here that HP is going to be a nickel higher at 6.68, and we can see with Lowe's it's going to go instead of 39.57, which at last paid is going to pay me now 39.76 with that $20 deposit, and getting close to the $40 mark there. And we can see with Starbucks, 913, and we added 15 cents of income there, so 928 is what it'll pay. And then our new monthly cash flow average is going to be $996.36, getting so close to that $1,000. Well, 1,000, 3,000, and working tab. Scroll all the way down here. $996.36, and this is a ledger that I track anytime I do any buys, sells, anytime there is a dividend increase, like Kroger had a 10% dividend increase, deposits, if I do drips, things like that. So this event was a $100 deposit with those 5 buys, and then the HP dividend drip, so it added 21 cents to my monthly income. That doesn't sound like a whole lot, but take a look. Just in July alone, what we've done, and we've added $7.73 to my monthly income. Look what SCHD did back in June 20. Dividend increase, but you can see though, just even these little ones, these keep adding up because you can see how many events happen each month. When I'm buying twice a week, I have dividend drips and there's dividend increases and things like that. That you can see how my monthly income just keeps going up and up. We're going to go to the dividend tracker tab, and this is where I track all that. 21, we can see the starting portfolio value, and then the first dividends paid there in January 2021. And we'll just scroll down to the present day. We can see in the larger months, which are every March, June, September, and December, that's where most of my dividends are paying. Those are going to be my larger month, but of course SCHD kind of blew that up here. I would have been over $1,700 in dividends in June, but it's going to inflate July instead, and that's why we have that lower quarter-on-quarter results as well. I thought about just putting the SCHD what happened, and then of course we're going to have a huge increase in Q3. So it all evens out in the end, so it doesn't really matter to me. Here we can see the average monthly dividend right now. You can see how this has just been ticking up. And here's the monthly increase total, the 773. Here's the month-over-month gain in percentage, 0.78%. And here's the annual dividend close to $12,000. And so far this month, I've added $92.80 in annual dividends, $200 in deposits so far. Tab, and I go over this quite a bit. I don't go into the depth that I do like with the dividend portfolio, but again, this is about 15% of my total net worth. I think this is probably more interesting to cover the dividend portfolio than boring ETFs over at Vanguard, but I recommend that you have a very solid base of ETFs in like a VTI, VTSAX kind of thing. It even has some international exposure as well. And you can see here's my current employer 401k. That's invested in S&P 500 fund for the most part. A little bit of bonds in there, you can see. And I have an IRA from prior employment, and it's in VU, VTI, SCHD, and BST. I know someone left a comment in the last video of why I have BST in the portfolio when the S&P 500 has beaten BST over the last 17 years, and I replied that BST hasn't been in existence for the last 17 years. I think it's been in the last 13, 14, and in those last 13, 14 years, BST has actually edged out the S&P 500 in returns when you factor in the dividend, if you drip it back in. And another thing is, if you want to rely on dividend income, you'll need like less than like a fifth of the net worth if you have everything in BST compared to S&P 500. That is if you're going by dividends. And my strategy is I don't want to have to sell my shares of investments. I want to have enough income coming in that I can just live off of the dividends alone. To me, that provides ultimate safety, because if you have to sell your portfolio, you have to rely on some market timing, in my opinion. And I don't want to be selling in a down market. I would feel a lot better taking dividends from my dividend payers in a down market than selling shares in a down market. So that's why I've kind of switched my focus a little bit. But you can see, though, I still do have index ETFs out here, but I'm also trying to build up my taxable income as well, to build up that income stream. And that is what this line item is right here, the dividend portfolio. But you can see everything else I have as well. So that's all I had to show you for this video. We'll go back to M1. We'll take a look at those buys real quick, just in case you forgot those. And again, it was the 5. The HP was a dividend drip, and it was Lowe's, AbbVie, Starbucks, Procter & Gamble, and KKR. Let me know in the comments below what you are going to be buying today and to close out this week. And thanks everybody for sticking to the end of this video. If you get value from this video, please click the like button. Also subscribe so that you excuse me, if I could speak. Also subscribe so you do not miss future videos. Everyone have a great weekend, and everybody take care.